Good evening. Coming up on Mello TV Evening News at 8, extension request for local government election, two-vehicle collision off Rose Hall Main Road in St. James, and massive gun seizure in St. Catherine. And now the details. Minister of Local Government Desmond McKenzie tabled the government's request for an extension to the local government election on the grounds that consultations are still being held for Portmore to cast their votes as the 15th parish of Jamaica. The minister made his announcement at the sitting of the House of Representatives on Tuesday, February 21.
The government is seeking a little more time to ensure that the significant expenditure that elections required will be effectively managed alongside other priorities in the economy. You know, Madam Speaker, I want to maintain and not get distracted by my colleagues over there. But it is important, Madam Speaker, that a brief period of postponement will facilitate the conclusion, Madam Speaker, one. And this is of importance, Madam Speaker. It is the commitment of the government that Portmore becomes the 15th parish, Madam Speaker.
Minister McKenzie stated that expansion of the maintenance of strong economic growth is another factor for the postponement of the local government election until February 28, 2024.
And such postponement, Madam Speaker, would help us to conclude the consultations that are presently taking place. The Portmore Municipal Council have requested further time for consultations, and we believe that in the interest, Madam Speaker, because we want, when the time rolls around, Madam Speaker, the people of Portmore will move out to cast their votes as the 15th parish of Jamaica, Madam Speaker.
In other news tonight, the People's National Party PNP Councillor Caucus discussed their dissatisfaction with the reasons given for the fourth postponement of the local government election.
We deemed it a travesty when the government conjures excuses that are seemingly baseless and inconsistent with what is reported by the said government. The nation was made to believe that due to budgetary constraint, an election could not be held after the said administration indicated that revenue collected by way of our tax dollars surpassed the estimated target by $80 billion. We want to remind the government that the people of Jamaica, that its government's responsibility to secure funding for the holding of any election, and after 4 years, no preparation was made in this regard for a local government election, considered to be negligence on the part of this government.
In other news tonight, the Minister of Justice, Delroy Chuck, is promoting a greater role for victims of crime in the sentencing process, particularly when plea bargaining is involved. The enhanced mandatory minimums will result in a greater alignment between the sentencing regimes governing serious crimes and the public's expectations of the justice system. The minister is recommending amendments to the Criminal Justice Administration Amendment Act 2023, which includes provisions for discounted sentences.
But, Madam Speaker, you have a problem. You take a man who has pleaded guilty to rape, for example. The judge may start out by saying, 15 years is an appropriate sentence. But because he pleads guilty at the first opportunity, the judge may well give him 50% discount. So it immediately goes to, say, 8 years. But then he has been in custody for 2 years. So the judge reduces it to 6 years. And then when he gets a sentence for rape for 6 years, the people said, Jesus, the man commit rape and he gets 6 years and all he's going to serve is 4 years? And it's a challenge, Madam Speaker. And we need to be able to ensure that when a person gets that same exact case, that at least the victim, the police, the prosecution, that their concerns are taken, and so nobody can quarrel at the end of the day, Madam Speaker. And that is what I'm really hoping, that the Joint Select Committee, when we look at it, we can make some recommendations to the Parliament as to how we move forward.
Leader of the opposition, Mark Golding, agreed that the bills should go to a Joint Select Committee because they have wide and deep implications for the justice system and society.
And I certainly feel that this is a matter that should go to a Joint Select Committee because it has wide and deep implications for the justice system and the society. And I think that if this was to be rushed, we may make some bad decisions that we subsequently regret. But because of the situation facing the criminal courts in Jamaica, with a very high level of backlog, we wanted to encourage persons who were guilty to plead guilty. The jurisdiction is given, the discretion is given to the judge to apply a discount of up to 50%. Not necessarily 50%. And the statute sets out the criteria to be considered by the judge in some detail in deciding what discount to give. While I understand the sentiments that the minister has expressed, I actually feel that that system has worked very well to now. That's not to say it's perfect, it isn't. And that's not to say it can't be improved, it can. We've had the benefit of 8 years of experience with it, but it has significantly contributed to the backlog reduction in the criminal courts.
We go now to news from St. James, where a man succumbed to injuries he sustained in a car accident along the Rose Hall Main Road last night. A Toyota Corolla and a Nissan crashed on the ring road close to the Spot Valley Crossroads. The Toyota motor vehicle subsequently burst into flames upon impact. A man who was seen bleeding heavily on the roadway after he was flung from the Toyota motor vehicle was taken to hospital. However, he was subsequently pronounced dead. A male and female who were traveling in the Nissan were carried to the hospital with various wounds. Their current situation is unknown, but updates will be provided right here on Mello TV. According to reports coming into our news center, they were flung from the car and landed into a ditch nearby. The woman was rescued from the ditch and taken to the hospital by passers-by. Still tonight, Senior Superintendent Michael Ricketts, head of the St. Andrews South Police Division, has indicated that a business owner was reportedly the target of the shooting by gunmen in Union Garden, St. Andrew, Tuesday evening. The incident left one man dead, while a police sergeant who is assigned to the Hunts Bay Police Station was shot and injured.
At approximately 7:20 p.m. last evening, a shooting incident occurred within the Union Gardens community, resulted in the murder of a 36-year-old businessman and the shooting injury of a sergeant of police attached to the Hunts Bay Police Station. We understand that the sergeant was at the location speaking to a friend when a black motor vehicle drove up. Armed men exited the vehicle, opened fire at person standing in the vicinity. At the end of the shooting, the owner of the establishment, along with the police officer, was found to be injured. They were rushed to the hospital where the owner, the businessman, was pronounced dead and the police sergeant admitted. The sergeant received gunshot injuries to his abdomen and leg. He remains in the hospital at this time, and the doctors have listed his condition as stable. This incident, it's still early days, but we believe that the act was carried out by gang members, and the business operator would have been the target. At this time, we have some strong leads pointing to at least 2 individuals that we are looking for, persons who we believe to have been involved in this crime.
An Ananda alert has been activated for 15-year-old Nikilia Samuda, otherwise called Ginger, of Hitchin Street, Kingston 4, who has been missing since yesterday, February 22. She is of brown complexion, slim build, and is about 5 feet 6 inches tall. Reports from the Almond Town Police Station coming into our news center are that Nikilia was last seen at home at about 6 a.m. wearing a white blouse, pink skirt, and a pair of pink slippers. All efforts to contact her have proven futile. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Nikilia Samuda is being asked to urgently contact the Almond Town Police at 876-922-2842, Police Emergency 119, or the nearest police station. Over in St. Catherine, the Bridgeport police seized 50 assorted rounds of ammunition in Westchester, Portmore on Tuesday, February 21 during a targeted operation, where 36 5.56 rounds of ammunition were recovered, along with 6 9mm rounds and 1 warhead, 5.38 rounds, 1.45 round, 2 12-gauge cartridges, and 1 Browning magazine. Reports from the Portmore police coming into our news center are that at about 10:50 a.m., a snap raid was conducted on Hilton Close, where the ammunition was found. No arrest was made. Investigations into the find, however, are ongoing. Still making Mello TV news tonight, 18-year-old Olag Davis of Bedward Crescent, Kingston 7, and a 16-year-old teenager have been charged with robbery with aggravation following an incident along Malines Road, Kingston 10 on Tuesday. Reports from the Halfway Tree Police are that at about 1 p.m., a teenaged girl was walking along the mentioned roadway when Davis and his accomplice attacked her. She was grabbed by the boys, who held a ratchet knife to her throat and robbed her of 500 Jamaican dollars. The teen escaped in the area on foot. They were later caught by citizens and handed over to the police. And those are the stories making news. Thank you for tuning in to Mello TV Evening News at 8. I am Shelley Hill. Do stay safe, pleasant viewing, and thanks for watching.